Good day, good day, good day, good day. Good day, good day, good day, good day. Who out there? Who's out there? Joy, how you doing? Chat with the one you call Brian Glaze Gibbs. Paul, what's up, man? How you doing, man? King Harlem, how you doing, man? Hey, family, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, man. You know what? I know it's football Sunday. Everybody out there, Boss B, what's up, man? Peace, man. Peace, love to you, man. Peace and love to you, man. I know it's football Sunday, man. What I'm trying to be consistent in things that I'm doing. Like I'm trying to keep the cigar chat live, 6 p.m. Next week, I'll be having a special guest joining me. You know, blessing to you too, man. Blessing to each and every one at the time to support me. I truly, truly appreciate it, folks. Listen, you see what I got on it? Crime and pay. Jason Brown, Rami Malik, how you doing? I believe in this. Crime doesn't pay. And a lot of times right now is, guess what? You got people that don't quite understand. Like, everybody want the easy way out. Salute, Baltimore, bike life, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. You have to try the Camacho Triple Maduro cigar. This is Cohiba Black. What do we really expect for the Giant this year, man? Like to me right now, I don't know, man. I'm not into sport myself, but like I always try to tell people, I'm 90 years old. I remember right now, we didn't have all that ESPN coming up. You know what we had? And you get everything that you possibly need from Monday Night Football. Because Howard Cosell and the cast, they used to give you play-by-play, about every team that played that Sunday that you didn't get to catch. So that was way before ESPN. With ESPN and with social media, you know everything. For next week, if everything importantly, I got a very, very special joining me. And I'm very, very excited about that because like I try to tell people, my platform is my ministry. And no, listen, I am not a typical minister. I'm going to talk about the good. I'm going to talk about the bad. I'm going to talk about the ugly. But what I'm trying to do, inform, educate, up, encourage, empower people. Getting it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Just because you used to be the problem, that don't mean you have to continue to be the problem. That means change. What brings about change? Time. The most important thing that we have is time. What brings about change? Having the time to understand and recognize where we went wrong at. What do we need to do to correct our behavior, correct our mistakes? That's what it is. Hey, Glaze, I'm just old school New York sport fan. It's nothing wrong with that, fam. It's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I used to be the Yankees, the Mets, you know what I'm saying, the Knicks, the Nets. Let me see. The Mets, the Mets, the Yankee, the Knicks, the Nets. What else we had? The Islander, the Ranger. Come on. We had the best of both worlds. I'm not really a big hockey fan, but guess what? You're a New Yorker, so you want them to win. Hey, listen. If we shut off one more time, I'm gonna reboot and come back. If we shut off one more time, I'm gonna come back. But like I tell you, I got a very special guest next week joining me on Cigar Chat Live. And basically right now, we're gonna be talking about a little bit of everything. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of everything. So make sure right now you tell a friend so a friend can tell a friend, a friend can tell a friend. To me, like on my platform, what I'm trying to do is stay away from all negativity, all the nonsense. That's what it's all about. How do you stay away from the nonsense? How do you make sure that you don't get caught up like everybody else? Like when people got platform and they don't want to talk about negativity, about BS. Come on, folks. When you having conversation with people, do they add value or they take value away? If they don't add no value, leave them alone, man. Like Michael Jackson used to say, just leave them alone, leave me alone. I wish they would have named the old Colonel Park after Willie Mays, not Jackie Robinson. They should have named a park in Brooklyn after Robinson. You're right. Strap on, spelled backward, is no parts. Hey, listen. But what I was trying to tell everybody, next week I'm gonna have a special guest. Like I said, I got different things that I'm in the work. Anybody check out that piece with 50 Cent and Jimmy Henchman that I dropped? I just dropped that yesterday. I'm saying doing great. Brandon William, how you doing, man? Peace, man. It's doing great. I dropped another piece today. I'm just trying to be creative, man. Trying to come up with different things, get people to understand. You know what? Listen, this right here don't pay. Crime doesn't pay, man. And a lot of times right now, where it's like, what is going to take for people to understand that? What is going to take for people to understand, especially the younger generation, man? Stop picking up that brick, throwing at that prison wall for absolutely nothing, man. We're destroying our life, man. How can you have a future when you waste it in a penal, in a penitentiary? How can you have a future? How can you raise a family from the penitentiary? How can you raise a family from the street corner? It's the same as Ari. Yeah, sincere. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Blessing Glaze, much respect to you for what you're doing. 456 Casino, man. 456, man. See how low your money can go. 456, man. I love the show review. How about some film you take? I love the show reviews. How about some films you take? You know what? Like I said right now, yeah, it's a few things like right now. Having the time, man, Walt. Having the time. You got to have the time. And like to me, it's a lot of good shows that's out there. I was trying to get into, and I watched BMF 2, and I don't know, man. BMF 1 was all right. BMF episode 2, I wasn't really feeling it, man. And, I'm trying to get the feel of it, but it's not striking, man. It's not hitting me the right way. But like I say, I'm going to go at it again, watch, episode 3, and see if I can't do a piece combining 2 and 3 together. But besides that, different shows that I can't wait until, what's that? I can't wait until Snowfall come back, and I can't wait until season 3 of Godfather Harlem. I like that. I like what they're doing. The executive producer and Forrest Whitaker, they doing an excellent job. But once again, folks, when we watching things, look for messages. Look for the messages. If you don't have no message in there, why are you watching it? Like a lot of times people like to watch, Love and Hip Hop, if that still come on. They like to watch, The Housewives. It's a bunch of negativity nonsense, man. Regardless, I know it's a lot of fashion involved, but to me, anybody want to know anything about fashion, you know what? You can rent the Devil Wear Prada. You can learn a lot from that as far as fashion, especially for the women. Your Vlad TV interview number are going up more and more. My Vlad TV, knowledge is power, man. Love and hip hop is trash. Yeah, you're right. Now my Vlad TV interview or whatever. I was gonna, you know what? I might do a review on that because it went over. I know the last time I checked, I think it was at 1.1 million or 1.2 million. And like people don't understand, Vlad just another platform, and Vlad is a marketing tool. So people that do go on it, when I went on it, I took some advice from a young man, and I appreciate that because once again, he said you need to cross over. You need more people to know your story. Does Cigar give you a buzz like that first time cigarette hit? Judah Soldier, yes, it can give you a hit. It can give you, like right now, yeah, it can hit you, man. It can give you that buzz, man. But I don't smoke it for the buzz. I smoke it but the difference is you want to smoke quality cigars. You want to smoke quality cigars. And right now, my goddaughter had brought me one back. She went on vacation. And when she came back from vacation, she took it upon herself, basically gave me a nice cigar that I got a chance to smoke it a few days ago. And I was kind of like amazed because of the quality of the cigar. I really enjoy it. It was like nice and smooth. I don't quite get that, man. Come back, usurp quality cigars. I didn't quite get that. Cigar is new to me. Started smoking cigar like a few years ago. Right on, have to try ASAP, man. But you know what? You just gotta have occasion, man. Like have occasion. Don, brother, we got to be smarter. Iref is a cool dude. He should know. But you know what? Like I said right now look, you're right. The situation that Iref got himself in, it was like, and we don't inhale cigar, don't. Iref, like right now, it's a difficult situation. No fault of his own. You know what? Let me rephrase that. It is his fault. Anything that we do right now and something happened, bad or good, is our fault. Because once again, his fault is trusting the wrong people, and he got betrayed. So that's the difference right now. Arif is a great, great brother. You know what I'm saying? Love him to death. Great. You talking about a brother, like an original member of the A team. Original. You got a lot of people want to say, well, they was part of the A team and everything like that, but they wasn't. You got a lot of people trying to. I know all of the original A team, and a lot of these guys that was around saying that they was original A team, they wasn't. You talking about like the original members of the A team is Damu, El Sun, Melvin, Iref, you know what I'm saying, Minister, Rasta T, Young Supreme, K. Sean, not the K. Sean from Tompkins, Wise, Boogie, you know, those was the original members of the A team. So anybody else that came along, everybody want to piggyback Shabu. Anybody else that come along and say, oh, they was down or they was part of that. I don't know why. Why do people have to make or act like they're part of something when they wasn't? Why do you, like to me, like I'd be the first one to tell you, like, for years, they accused me of being a leader of the A team. I was never the leader of the A team. I was never a member of the A team. It's like, due to circumstance that certain things that took place, we couldn't even, they had a unwritten law that if you didn't belong on that side of the projects, you didn't live on that side of the project, you was not allowed on that side of the project, the A team side. You wasn't. That was just the law. And I know a lot of people, I'm talking about that's close with me, did not go on that side of the project under any circumstance. And, I don't care. You couldn't walk. A lot of people used to walk around. They would not walk on that fountain set aside. And why? Because once again, the A team say if you didn't belong there, you couldn't walk on that side. And a lot of guys, anybody can come along and say a story now like they did this, they went over there. No. A lot of people went over there based upon the relationship that I established with El Sun in the A team. Me. You know what I'm saying? The relationship that I established. And the funny part about that, and I'm gonna go on the record, was like, even right now, I used to go over there with a death wish. We're the best area to meet Dominican women in New York. I am visiting next week. Knowledge is power, man. Like, what is that called, man? Like, I like to say, like, anywhere from like 100, the 100 block, like 101, 102, 103, 104, 110. You know what I'm saying? The west side. No, hold up. Is it the east side? The east side. That's where you're gonna find a lot of Dominican women, from my understanding. But as I was saying, a lot of brothers would not go on that side of the projects. And like I say, up until I brokered the deal. And like I used to go over there by myself. My big bro is from the A team side. See, like you say, people can be from that side of the project, but that didn't mean they was part of the A team. That's Harlem. That's Harlem. You know what I'm saying? That's Manhattan. Knowledge is power. And Don Glazion forever doing me. But like getting back to what I was saying is like, to me, when I came home and they was talking about you cannot go on that side, and I watched people like, that was kin to me, people that was friend of mine, they wouldn't go over there. And I used to go over there. And right now, back then, I was a sick individual. I used to go over there hoping that somebody would say something to me, yo, you can't, what you doing over here? And you know what? I'm glad you're Washington Heights, but I wouldn't go up there trying to mess around. Hey, Walter Lee, thank you, man. Hey, you see that? Washington Heights. That's where most of all the Dominican young ladies is at, man. But I guess they all over Washington Heights and say, yeah. Thank you. But anyway, like I told you, I used to go over there. And I used to have a chip on my shoulder, not knowing what it was really. It was a death wish. I didn't care. And when I used to go over there, I used to have my hand on the gun, hoping that somebody come over there from the A team, say, you don't belong on here. What you doing over here? That never happened. And I can remember back then, I had a buddy of mine, Rick Martin. And me and Rick had a good relationship at one point in time. I used to go visit Rick. We was friends. We was like family. And Rick had a 25 life sentence. So one time I was on a visit in Auburn with him, and he was saying, listen, man, this is what you need to do. You need to go over there and, speak. He said, El Sun, Eddie Williams, he's a good guy. He said, listen, man, step to him one-on-one. Talk to him. Have a heart-to-heart with El Sun. And that's what I did. One day was the summertime. I think it was summer of 1985, July 1985. And these guys was on Sutter and Logan by the bodega store in the corner. It was a group of them. I'm by myself. No jammy, no gun, no nothing. Yeah, you don't want to get to jam up on the gas station on Southern Fountain. No, it was the gas station was on Southern Euclid, all the way up to Deckman area. So I went over there by myself. And it was Elson, there was a whole bunch of the 18. And when I went over there, I asked him, can I have a minute of his time? So he stepped to the side. And when Elson stepped to the side, I said, listen, I introduced myself. He said, I know who you are. And I told myself, listen, man, I don't got nothing against you or your guys. As long as, y'all don't do nothing to me, my brother, my sister, my mother, my family, my cousins and them, my aunts and them, and people that I love and care about, we don't have no problem, man. And you know what? That was just me by myself. And you know what? From that conversation, like L's son looking at me, sizing me up. First of all, you coming over here by yourself. And look what you're saying. You come to me telling me what you want, what you don't want. You by yourself. You don't have a win. You don't have a chance. But when I went over there, yeah, I'm by myself. And I expressed myself to him. So, you know what? We came to some type of form of agreement. And he respect that I was by myself. Hey, the professor, how you doing, my brother? How you doing, man? I am on the garden grind, man. Peace, man. My brother got his plant. He cultivating his plant, man. In Detroit, man. One love, baby. One love. But anyway, right now is I went over there. I can't express Spanish, but those Dominican women are sexy. You can't speak Spanish? I can't either. But anyway, right now is this is what Elson told me afterwards. Look, man, I'm gonna call you Bugsy because you crazy. You came over there to me, around us, by yourself. And I'm saying, man, something gotta be wrong with this guy. And you're gonna tell me what you want and what you don't want. And from that alone, he said, I respect that, man. I respect that because all these other individuals, you just came home from jail. Like, I think I came home that November. So you talk about July. And I came home just before, I came home in November of 1984. And right now that conversation happened in July. So I was home like 8 months. And he said, look, all these guys that been here, or that been out in this area, nobody had the balls or had the guts to come up to me like you did. He said, I respect that or whatever. Long story short, that's how we built the relationship. And once that relationship opened, that's when everybody else started going around. Brother Gibbs, are you going to continue to do your review for Power Book Dude Ghost as well as Snowfall upcoming season? We'll see, man. We'll see. And you know what? A lot of things have to do with one thing, timing. A lot of stuff got a lot to do with timing. Can you speak on your relationship with Hollywood? There was the majority of them was 5%. And Trinidad, they kind of strong up there, and they like their machete. Wow. So you're right. I don't know what I'm gonna do a review on. I know Snowfall definitely. I want to do a review. I want to get into that because that character, the main character in Snowfall, he reminded me a lot of my man LD. Precise Jones, Brooklyn guys, we have problem with loose screws. Yeah, laced with extra weed. Who want it? Minister Glaze. Hey, what's up? Hey, Martin. Hey, Moses Cotton. How you doing, my brother, man? Peace, love, and prosperity, man. Give the lovely wife a shout out, man. Folks, like I said, I met a lot of great people, on social media. Like brother Moses Cotton, man, from Philly, man. I'm talking about powerful, powerful conversation. And I love the brother, the support, the words, the encouragement. That's what it's all about, man. I met the Professor BB, man, from Detroit, man. You meet a lot of good people, man. You'd be surprised, man, how many genuine people that you able to meet through the social media network, through YouTube, through IG, man. And so, folks, listen, when people reach out to me, you can't reach out to everybody. You can't keep in contact with everybody because it's a lot. And based upon everything that they're saying, Glaze, why did your brother go back to Cyprus and do an interview with CK? You know what? Like I say, I don't know why. I don't see what was the point. But you know what? That's his prerogative. And that's what he feel he want to do. You know what? Like, what can I do? He's a grown man. He's older than me. He got me by 11 months. So if that's what he want to do, and like for example, is I don't know CK. I don't have nothing against him. Does the main character for Snowfall remind you of Freeway Ricky Ross? No, that main character, I don't know Freeway Ricky Ross. That main character remind me of my man LD, Lanny Diller, the late Lanny Diller, the way he think, the way he act, the way he move. He remind me of the late Lanny Diller. May his soul rest in peace and the spirit be lifted. But folks, sit back and think about it. Like I was saying, you meet a lot of good people on the social media platform. And when you meet and you're talking to people, and it depends upon what they bring to the table. Are they bringing, you need a Kev Mack interview, I'm going to hook it up. So Uncle Buck, if he's on the right page and, is about positive, right now, growth, development, understanding, empowerment, let's do that. The Fat Cat son following his father's footsteps. I can't really speak on that. I can't really speak on that. I knew a couple of them did got in trouble, so I don't know what they doing now. Hopefully, those that used to be down with that they got away from that. God bless Gibbs. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you, Gino. Feldo Caldwell. What about a review on a new BMF series? Do you like the show? You know what? I did one. I dropped that on a couple of days ago on episode 1. I like episode 1. I wasn't too far on episode 2. I'm gonna watch episode 3 and see if I do a review on both episode 2 and episode 3 together. Sometimes it's like certain things when you're watching it, I gotta feel it, man. If I don't feel it, I gotta feel it. If I don't feel it, it's hard. It's hard to do a review on certain things that you're not feeling. And to me, I'm not trying to, how can I say it, badmouth anybody or any show, but it's like you got to go with your personal belief. Like, how do you feel about the show, or how do you feel about an episode? If you could do it all over again, if I could do it all over again, man, listen, I would have went to school, probably went to a college, and got the best grade I can possibly get. And you know what? Do it right the first time, man. Like with this right here, crime doesn't pay, because right now I wasted years out of my life that I cannot get back. And I hated the person that I once was from the age of 14 to 24, but I love myself now. Wire and Soprano are the best show. Yeah, I like The Wire. I like some of the Soprano. You're right, Gino. You're right. The writers, they was hungry, they was creative, and they did the show with passion. That's the same thing with Snowfall. That's the same thing with the people that's behind Godfather of Harlem. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? How you doing? I don't know if what your brother's saying. Oh, you gotta come back with that, man. You gotta come back. You know what? Listen, everybody entitled to feel and express themselves the way they feel. Even like I said right now, that's what he want to do. Listen, I welcome it. The difference is, as long as people are talking about you, that means you're doing something right. What you got to worry about when people stop talking about you, when people stop talking about you, then that means you're doing something wrong. So as long as people are talking about you, okay, that means you're doing something good. So to me, like, hey, if you came from the background and the geographical area and that age, that I came from, it was a saying, sticks and stone may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. I'm gonna repeat that. Sticks and stone may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. Care, respect everyone. You're good. Okay, like I say, sir, Uncle Buck, if you set it up, let's make it happen, man. Email me, Brian, Brian, Gibbs, Gibbs, 1201 at yahoo.com. Andre Horton, how you doing, man? Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for joining. But folks, I made mention of this earlier. Any of these guys that's out there, or any of these young ladies that's out there, and they got a platform, it all depends upon what they bring to the table. Like, like right now, you look at Tasha K. Tasha K out there doing her thing. Shout out to Tasha K. Shout out to Hashan Campbell. Shout out to the Infomind and For the Culture platform. Shout out to Up for Debate Unique, Miss T. Like I said right now, Kevin Samuels. Let me see, all viral asset. You got a lot of people that's out there doing their thing, but make sure you're doing it the right way. I'm listening to some of these guys, and they in attack mode, and they talk about in the hood. They talk about being in the hood. Okay, sit back and think about it. Look what happened. What happened to all the money and jewelry, cars, and clothes you had back in the Bro, let me ask you a question, Mr. Porter. When you go to jail, what can you take with you? What can you take with you? You can't take anything with you. Only thing you taking is your body, soul, mind, spirit. That's all you taking. The difference is right now is like, always remember, when you're away, people gonna play. Even right now, ask somebody, ask somebody, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say no name. Why? They was digging up the yard, looking for what? Buried treasure. Why? So the difference is always remember when people, you got money or you got a stash, if you ain't gonna put it in the bank, everybody's not fortunate to have offshore account. So when you sit back and you look at, ask people why they was digging up, saying, you know, in the yard. What you looking for? What did you find? Mr. Porter, always remember, you never see a hearse behind a U-Haul. Or you never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. Because when you're gone, what can you take with you? What can you take? And the difference is you call yourself trusting people, okay? First of all, a lot of times right now, if you're in that lifestyle, you know what? You don't put nothing in your name because you got that criminal mindset, okay? And when you got that criminal mindset, you're too busy trying to put stuff, property, in everybody else's name. Because from a legal standpoint, how can you justify with no job where's the money is coming from? Okay? Where's the money coming from? People is not stupid. Thanks for the correction. Hey, you welcome, Andre. You welcome, man, Andre. You welcome, Andre. And like I tell you right now is when you sit back and you think about, look at everybody talking about what they had, what they do. KRS-One, Criminal Minded, you have been my Criminal Minded. Hey, Zed Jackson, man, that was a powerful song, man. That was a very powerful song. Very powerful song. But once again, like I was saying, when you listen to these people with platform, if they're not trying to uplift, encourage, or discourage these individuals from going out there, picking up that brick, throwing at that prison wall, why are we dealing with them? You got another brother that's out there. He just started his platform called the George Macon Experience. Right now is he took some kids to the bowling alley. From South Philly. He took some kids to the movies. See, that's the difference. Like, how do we get back? How do we take the time out of our schedule to get back? Right now, he said he wanted to be more dedicated to his family, to his son, to the community. And you like that. You appreciate things like that. Opposed to a bunch of all these guys saying, we in the hood. What are you in the hood for if you don't have to be in the hood? Okay? That's the difference. Look at the late rapper. Did you answer my question, Brian? We'll say that, Kelly, for a different time. We'll say that for a different time. When you sit back and you think about it, and you ask yourself this, like Nipsey Hussle, okay? What happened to Nipsey Hussle? What happened? He went back to the hood, and what happened? When you go to jail and you fight in the U.S. government, they make sure they take all your money and take it from you. Hey, but folks, like I said right now, what happened to Nipsey Hussle? Nipsey Hussle was successful. Nipsey Hussle made it. But the difference is he want to stay in the hood, to help out the hood. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a right way and a wrong way. And look what happened. He lost his life being in the hood. So what I'm just trying to say right now, because once again, when people feel that you made it and you got it, I never met Tupac. I was away when Tupac was around. When you out there, the hood don't love us. The hood don't love nobody. The street don't love nobody, man. That's what we have to understand. Who does the street love? We all will betray one another for that dollar. Everybody betray each other for that dollar, that green dollar. You got so many people addicted to the U.S. currency, and they won't admit it, but that U.S. currency is no different than crack. It's no different than dope. It's no different than meth. It's no different than no pills, okay? The painkillers, okay? That's the U.S. currency. And you got people so addicted to that they'll sell their soul for that almighty dollar. They'll sell you down the drain for that almighty dollar. Why? Because once again, they're more in love with that U.S. currency than they're in love with their own flesh and blood. Come on. A dollar. They will sell you down the drain. The street don't love nobody. As soon as you leave, is somebody else willing, ready, and able to take your place. Come on. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it, man. If you take the time and energy and learn, go to a job. Go to a regular job and work your way out. Money can't buy a moral compass. You're right. And you know what, folks? Listen, like I say, I look at what I'm doing now, and I sit back and think about it. Man, if you're doing that now, imagine you had the discipline, the understanding, the knowledge, okay, the wisdom. I'm saying to do what you're doing now back then. How powerful you could have been. I had a bunch of individuals following me all behind the wrong reason. You're right. The hood will kill you over jealousy. Your own family member will kill you over jealousy. Your own so-called friend. Brother Gil, what's the biggest difference of East New York now versus that era you came from? It's really hard to say, man. I'm just thinking it's worse now than it was back then. Because even though people used to lose their life, I think it's more senseless now. I think every generation, every decade is getting worse. And the only way we're gonna get back to the basic is everybody joining together as a whole, as a team, as one. And that's the difference. But you know why that's not gonna happen? Because everybody is more petty now. Okay, Walter Lee, great. Hey, I like that. It's more petty now. And the difference is what it's gonna take. They say take a village to raise a child. So imagine what it's gonna take to raise a community. Imagine what it's gonna take to raise a community. The hood will kill you off of jealousy. Sincere, you're right. They'll kill you off of anything. They'll kill you off of jealousy. They'll kill you off a love of another woman. Okay? Bingo. Here it is right now. How many guys that I know that die over a woman? Over a woman. Okay? How many girls get over a guy? So you sit back and look at it, man. When you are poor, and you're colored, no education, you are in real trouble. Glaze, what's good, my brother? People petty and scared. These kids scared to fight, but quick to shoot. Yeah, you're right, Johnny Blaze. Everyone's scared to like, but ready to die. Oh man, ready to die for what? When you haven't even lived. People are ready to die when they haven't even lived because they don't understand. Like right now, counting your blessing. They don't understand what we need to do. East New York was more loving in the '80s. Precise Jones. You know, my way of thinking was like I was a hothead. And a lot of times I allow my emotion to supersede my intellect. But sometimes I was able to think with reason, rhyme and reason. Sometimes I was able to, if I wasn't allowing my emotion to supersede anything, I can always come up with that right answer. Glaze, I respect how you think. You know what I'm saying? For real. Everybody don't gain wisdom with a Hey, thank you, man. You know what? And that's the difference. I'm blessed, man. I count my blessing each and every day. And even right now, like my understanding now, I don't try to make it complicated. I try to break it down to people as if they was 2-year-old so they can have a complete understanding of the words that coming out my mouth. What the sense of trying to get all fancy for? We don't gotta get fancy. Be direct, be straightforward, be honest in your approach. Be sincere. With me, I'm a very passionate person. I wear my emotion on my sleeve and I express myself the way that I feel. I can remember last week, it's a gentleman that worked with me on my team. And we know each other for like, what, 2 years or longer. And, right now we've been working together, these last few weeks. And he told me, he's, yo, man, I couldn't stand your guts, man. I couldn't stand your guts. Somebody asked me, too, Doug, fat man, could you walk around your old hood? Why couldn't I? Why couldn't I? Who gonna stop me? I'm saying? Take a man to admit his wrong in life and try to, you're right, man. Johnny Blaze, a lot of people cannot do that. A lot of people don't like to hold themselves accountable. Hey, folks, listen, man. Let's sit back and think about it. Nobody can't stop nobody from going anywhere. Don't get caught up into the hype. You can't go here. You can't do it. You can do what you want to do. That's the difference. Who can stop you? I'm saying right now is when you watch and you listen to some of these individuals talking trash and talking negative about people, you know what? Chances are, if it's just them and you see them face to face, they hold the words that they were coming out their mouth over social media, on these cameras, on these phones, because nobody else was there. You wasn't there. It's a big difference, man. It's a big difference. But right now, okay, Can I go back to my hood? Like I was just in my hood back in July. You know, somebody said, you can't do this. I took a shower in my hood. I took a shower in Cypress. You know what I'm saying? On Sutter Avenue, 1230 Sutter Avenue. I took a shower, you know? So I came up there, did what I needed to do, and I was there. So as the word traveled. You know what? Like I did a piece when I was in New York or whatever. And you know what? Like when people, that's somebody saying whack 100 can't come to New York or this person can't. You can't stop people unless you got a hell of an army. Like, you know, you got a hell of a crew. You got a hell of a team. Who can stop people from doing what they want to do? That's not reality. Was Fat Cat Plug a Colombian? Probably at one point in time. But when I was around, it all depends upon what you're talking about. I know it was a Oriental guy, and he used to get a lot of stuff from the Pakistan. So yeah, and the difference is right now is everybody looking for deals, even in that lifestyle. People going to who got the best product quality, and that's who they going with. You know, best product win. It's like no different than right now is when you go to your supermarket. You're gonna go to your supermarket that got, you know, rotten fruit, rotten vegetable, spoiled meat, you know, spoiled milk. Or you gonna go to the supermarket that got better quality. Guess what? Quality over quantity. Hey, listen, next week, I want everybody to tune in. If everything go accordingly, I'm gonna have a very special guest on the Brian Glaze Gibbs platform. And like to me, folks, what I'm trying to do is I want this platform to talk about everything. Yeah, the answer to that question, knowledge is power. Yeah, I think they still around, but you know, low key, very, very low key. But like on my platform, what I want to do, I want to make it positive. All that negative drama, like, you know, and to me, you ain't gonna never see me on here cursing like a seller. Still there, but small and quiet. Do you think the Black America will ever get it together and be stand-up man and woman? Yes, I believe so, man. Samuel Bull really explained how the Boston War was weaker than a soldier. And you know what, like I say, because once again, most of the time, by the time they get to that boss status, they get a little older, they get a little mature, and they have a better understanding. And nobody trying to go to jail, man. Get a movie done. Brother Gibbs, what do you think we need to do to reform young brothers from the street? You know what? Give them opportunities. Plant seeds. Letting them know that, you know what, they're better than what they think they are. A lot of these kids they drop out of high school. They drop out of middle school. A lot of them think, they don't believe in themselves. Their confidence level is so low. So what we have to do is how do we rebuild them, man? How? People are crazy to ask them about a plug. You got to pay for that. You're right. We got to rebuild them, man. Getting them to believe. You got to sell them on a plan. You got to come up with a plan and sell them on a plan. Listen, young man, why are you out here doing this? You know, when you can be taking that same time of hanging up on the block, going to school, getting a trade, or going to this job and working your way up in this company, even if you have to take a porter job. A lot of people think they better than what they are. How can you think you better than what you are when you don't have no education and you don't have no real work ethic? The heroes are the working man and the working woman. These are the people that get up each and every day and punch a clock. You know how hard that is, man? Getting up each and every day and punching the clock? How hard is that? In passing. In passing, we mix together in passing, like, you know, at a club or whatever. They want fast money, and that what lead to prison, man. You're right. Fast money, man. Always remember, trouble's easy to get into, hard to get out, man. Trouble's easy to get into and hard to get out. And that's what people don't understand. You know what? Some of these kids' parents don't even get them a chance because you got kids having kids. You know, you have kids having kids. And then when you having children, it's no booklet how to be a good mother, a booklet how to be a self-instruction, how to be a good father, how to be a good husband, how to be a good wife, how to be a good grandparent. It's nothing out there. We need strong men to raise up these young men and need help instill confidence. And that's what you got to do. But the difference is right now, go both ways. You got to have people that's willing to listen. It's harder to work a 9 to 5 than slinging crack, right? It is harder, man. It is harder. It is harder to get up each and every morning to work a 9 to 5. I got a shout out to my girl Nada. When I was away, Nada told me, listen, you don't know what the future holds. You know what you need to do? You need to develop working habit. And I'm glad. I'm glad. Like you got, see, me, I'm funny. I listen to people that I respect, especially when they coming at me. When they able to break it down to me as if I was a 2-year-old so I can see the big picture. She said, you don't know what the future holds. And you might have to work when you get back out. What you need to do is you need to develop working habit. And you know what? I did that. We can all come together if we stop being ignorant and pull together as black man, Spanish man, and woman. Black and Spanish are extreme powerful. You're right, we are. But the difference is right now getting everybody to come together. But see, when people come together, you got people, oh, I'm the boss, or I'm the boss. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's like right now is if you have a better idea than I have, why can't we work together? If you come up with a better game plan to help me win, help us win, that's what we're supposed to do. The best ideal thought process should win. And that's what it is. People are not thinking no more. We too busy acting off emotion, man. We too busy want to go after each other. We too busy want to hurt, kill one another. For what? Over what? Only thing it take 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 months, 5 years. That's all it take for something to happen that you can live and regret it for the rest of your life. And then you ask yourself, was it worth it? Based upon what I just did, or based upon what I'm about to do. What I'm about to do is going to bring me pain or pleasure. People rather shine in your face and not help each other. That's wrong. Young cats out there don't realize how much money in the craft, plumbing, carpentry, electrician, iron. You're right. A Walter Lee, and that's very powerful. They don't. And the difference is, Glaze is boss. Boss is taking losses. Hey, like I try to tell you, man, everybody take a loss. But it all depends upon how do you bounce back. How do you bounce back? You got any drug money left? Nah, man. I would be done and happy. Let me tell you something, folks. Even back then, I don't care. This young lady taught me a long time ago. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's what you do with it. Imagine you can be working at McDonald's, making minimum wage. If you didn't have no bills and real responsibility and you can save that, guess what? And you can take that and you invest it wisely, man, you're ahead of the game. And that's what people have to do. Preach, man. Hey, how are we both ugly? I made 50 an hour on jobs in the 90s. Wow, Walter Lee. 50 an hour, legally. Legally. Look what Walter Lee is saying. He made $50 an hour in the 90s. Legally. That's what it's all about. Like I always like to brag on my brother Derek. Shout out to Diesel and my brother Brad. These two young men, they retire now. Iron worker, wow. That's a union environment. These two brothers, like they told me, they was more afraid of their dad than they was anybody. They was more afraid of their dad than it was of the police, which was good. They had positive role model in their life that kept them in line. And sometimes that's what we have to do, get back to the basic, man. So they say they was more afraid of their dad. That's why Brad retired from the correction department as a correction officer. Derek retired from Con Edison. That's what I do. No kids working and saving. And like I said right now, man, no kids working and saving. And then not only that, when you're ready to have kids, guess what? You already built the foundation. Do you think being bullheaded and foolish pride is the demise? It is. It is. Hey, Glaze, is not how much you make, it's how much you hold. You're right. Only person I'm still afraid of, 43 now. Your dad? Okay, cool. What is an iron worker? Walter Lee, come back and tell him what is an iron worker. Come back and let knowledge is power know what is an iron worker. Folks, I remember telling people, you know what? Saying if you don't have no real job skills or work ethic, you know what? It's always hustle. It's so many different hustle that's out there. Somebody was telling me right now is guess what? If you get your CDL, CDL, get your CDL. Move loads. Move loads from city to city, state to state. Unbelievable. They had like some company giving you hiring bonus if you come and work for them. The George Making Experience. Hey, George, man, I was speaking about you earlier, man. Speaking about what you're doing for the community, how you took the kids in South Philly to the bowling alley, how you took them to the movie, how you trying to take them off the street and helping them. And that's very, very powerful. Like I try to explain to people, George making experience got a very, very powerful platform. Right now, I see that he's building his platform, and I love that. Anytime you see people doing certain things, they have voices and they trying to build, but they trying to build while destroying. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Thanks, big bro. But that's what it's all about, man. I love your style. I love the thing that you're doing. I love what you're promoting. The guys you seen putting up building and bridges. Wow. The guys that you, okay, iron worker. So they building the structure. They building the foundation from the concrete to the steel, you know what I'm saying, that get these buildings started. Wow. You know? Hey, folks, listen at iron worker. And I like that. Thank you for coming back, man. But that's what it is. Like, even now, taking this platform, let's take the next few minutes to, come out there and put different occupation that's out there that these guys can get into. Even my brother Shabay was telling me about some things that they had, that they was getting people certification to work in food service. And it didn't matter whether you had a felony or not. A lot of times right now was we get caught up into catching these cases as a young kid. And then right now was, guess what? We kind of screw ourselves for life. But it's all the program out there that can help you. There's an ironworker required college or trade school. I'm going to look into that. And listen, folks, look what's out there. And that's the difference. Like taking this platform, taking this time to educate each other, to share knowledge. I'm talking about right now is what the sense of having knowledge if you don't have the ability or you don't have the platform to share it with somebody. And what we have to do is we have to listen. We have to take this information, write it down. Get a pen and paper and write stuff down. You know, Walter Lee, if somebody trade school helps. Hey, Walter Lee, if somebody really want to get into the ironwork, what do they need to do? What is the qualification? Is it schools that's out there that train them, prepare them for that type of life? Because once again, you sit back and think about $50 an hour back in the 90s. $50 an hour still now. I got a great job. I don't make $50 an hour. Hey, Senator Phoenix, how you doing, man? Thank you, man. Can you give us one story on Kelvin 50 Cent Martin? Bro, go to my line. Go to my page. There's a bunch of floor technician, no theft, about $18 an hour. Hey, floor technician. Glaze, are you still working? Yes, I am. Plumbing, carpentry, so many craft, man. See, that's what I'm saying. Plumbing, carpentry. And see, that's powerful. Like, hey, listen, like to me, yeah, I still work, I love doing what I'm doing. I'm scared of height and falling, but damn, $50 an hour. George Macon, I haven't seen you in S Room. Okay, wow. Hey, like I told you, that George Macon experience, check him out, y'all. Anybody that's not on his page, go check him out, man. A few pieces that he did that I checked out was very, very powerful, very intriguing. I like that, man. And anytime you got brothers and sisters out there, giving you positive words, advice, knowledge, understanding, welding school, wow. LA, sometimes giving back is being present, letting young people see you going to work every day, striving and progressing. That is itself, okay? Welder make 50K to 120K and hire felon with certificate or associate degree. Hey, listen, see, that's what it's all about, folks. It's things that's out there. We're not even looking. But the difference is, don't think somebody gonna knock on your door and say, here's this job. You gotta apply. You know who hire a lot? And they hire a lot of people with felony. It all depends if you're in the New York area, the metropolitan area. Transit get a lot of people second chances. George May got some peace, family. I'm good. Hey, see, that's what it's all about, man. You know what I love? Like I'm watching, even today. I say this is the first time I did a Sunday. This is the first time I did a Sunday live in a long time that I didn't get no negative, people, like negative people with that negative mindset. Their mind is in the gut that came on the platform and try to be disrespectful. And that's why I say, man, if you're going to come on my platform, be mindful and be respectful. Nothing more, nothing less. Regardless, like come on my platform, be mindful and respectful. And I appreciate the audience today. Look what everybody doing. I have worked really high up, man. And see, that's the difference. But even right now is when you work really high up, night from Liverpool, England. Okay, two dog fat man. Even right now, I'm pretty sure you got safety equipment and you got different harnesses and different equipment to secure. That is correct. Transit does hire felon. My boy did 5 years and make $100,000 a year. I'm in New Orleans, no felon, no conviction. Okay? Hey, folks, Brian, the real ones support you because we respect your positive message. You know what? Like I told you, I've been negative for years. Right now is I'm a grown man. And if I still stuck and think like I was when I was 14, 24 years old, at my age now, then I'm lost. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. If I'm still walking around with my pants sagging, or still talking slang, trying to be cool, trying to be slick, trying to be cool, trying to be slick for what? You got to have true identity with yourself. You have to have true identity for yourself. You have to admit when you're right. The trades are full of felons. Don't let that stop you. And that's the difference. We got to stop handicapping ourselves. Folks, listen, I tell anybody, I had a speech problem. I don't pronounce certain word. And even right now, if I offend anybody by pronouncing their name wrong, I apologize. I had a speech problem as a kid, but I didn't let that stop me or handicap me from speaking. Long as you understand the words that come into my mouth, hey, that's what counts. But if I sit back and think about, well, I can't pronounce this, I can't say that. I'm not gonna let that stop me. I don't use plurals, I don't use singular. Okay, hey, listen, man. Everybody is different. We are all rare and unique individual. And you know what? We can't let our weakness be our weakness. Sometimes you gotta let your weakness be your strength. It's not quite as mobbed as it was in the past. Hey, folks, I love your message. Tasha Stewart, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But you know what you learn? In order to be honest with anybody else, you got to first attempt to be honest with yourself. And a lot of us don't want to do that. A lot of us are afraid to be honest and be real. A lot of people want to stay stuck because they think it's easy. A lot of people don't like challenges. A lot of people don't like change, man. I love change because right now, if I didn't change, I'd have been stuck. I'd have been trapped. I'd have been caught up, man. Peace, man. Ra, Karma 9. Peace, man. I'd have been stuck. And the difference is right now is, guess what, man? If you keep taking your head, banging in the concrete over and over and over again, guess what's going to happen? You're lost. If you keep hitting your head against the concrete, guess what? You're going to be brain dead. And that's the difference. A lot of people are brain dead, and they're not hitting their head on the concrete. They just stuck on themselves and all that negativity that's built up inside of them, all that hatred that's built up inside of them, opposed to letting it out, opposed to getting all that poison and negative out of your system. That's what consuming them. That's what make them who they are today. And they got to stop that, folks. They got to really, really stop that, man. Listen, folks, join me next week. Like I said, I'm gonna have a very special guest. Hopefully that go up. Hopefully that work out the way I want to work out. You're gonna be very glazed. Have you ever been to St. Louis? You know what? Steady mobbing and passing. I left Colorado to come to North Carolina, and man, yeah, I stopped there in St. Louis, man. Hey, listen, folks. Thank you. Hey, get your signed copy of the Beyond Lucky book on the Brian Glaze Gibbs story, True Story of Crack, Money, Murder, and Redemption by emailing me, Brian, Brian, Gibbs, Gibbs, 1201 at yahoo.com. Listen, folks, if I can change, anybody can change. This is the blueprint that will stop your kids, my kids, from making that multi-billion-dollar prison system their permanent address, man. Listen, crime doesn't pay. If I can change, anybody can change. Listen, folks, thank you for joining me. Like I said, I got a lot of different things that I'm working on. I'm trying to get back into working on my audiobook. Dennis Johnson, preach a sure. If you're a young person and you don't want to go to the traditional academy path, go to trade school. Trust me, it's needed. Wow. Hey, Walter, thank you. Thank you for sharing all this information on my platform today. And folks, listen, take notes, man. Take notes. And what I'm saying is, I want this platform to be pure. I want this platform to be like genuine, sincere, nothing negative, nothing negative. And I appreciate the respect. Nobody coming on my platform with that negativity nonsense. Didn't Domino have a small store on Sutter and Crystal back in the day? Domino didn't have a small store. At one point in time, he was affiliated with this guy, Chris, and Chris was renting out a game room. So that's what you're talking about. May Domino's soul rest in peace and his spirit is lifted. You know what? Like if that brother would have stayed alive, he could have been anything that he wanted to because he had a lot of potential. Exactly, all positive energy. Hey, the George Making Experience. Listen, folks, shout out to the George Making Experience. Thank you for spending time on my platform today. We got to do something. Hey, great talk today, Glaze. Hey, great talk to those, especially you, Walter Lee. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the knowledge and science that you dropped today. And hopefully right now, that's what we keep doing, man. When I get on this platform, I want to be able to talk about good, positive thing. Yo, Brian, when you talk about the incident with Haitian Jack, what was your reaction when you saw Jack after the roll down? And when, you know what? I never saw Jack no more. That's the last time, and that I saw Jack was back then because I went to jail. Hey, folks, listen, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you, peace, love, and prosperity.